This is Amanda Mati and you're welcome to my Unwavering Thoughts. Today we're going to be having a very special conversation, and the most special part of this particular podcast is that I have a very special guest with me, and I'm so excited because we've planned this thing like forever. I think since June. But I cannot imagine that it is finally happening, and I cannot wait to explore the topic we're about to have and, share with you guys what has been going on with us, lately. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce to you my very bosom friend, Delight Chimdiuto.
Hi.
I know Chimdiuto is not your last name, but I
know, but I actually like that you use Delight Chimdiuto. Because that's going to now be like my own YouTube name. Actually, I'm changing to Delight Chimdiuto.
It makes sense. I
was actually glad that you did that. Hi guys.
Yes guys, this is Delight. She's one of my very bosom friends, like I said earlier. She's one of those people that will drag you by the hair when you fuck up or when you mess up. She will tell you, remember the daughter of whom you are. All those kind of things. And I'm glad that I have such a friend that can caution you and tell you that, guy, you're actually messing up, and tell you the truth. She's just that big sister figure. So today we're going to be having a conversation about why am I stuck. I'm sure you've asked yourself this question when you feel a certain way, you're not growing, you're stagnant, your life is not going the way you planned. Probably tell yourself that the 18-year-old you isn't as proud as it should be or something, and you're just stuck, you're not growing. But this particular conversation, I didn't pick it by chance. It's because I found myself a lot in that situation. I'm sure a lot of people have too, I believe. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, but I feel like this is a safe space to have such conversation. But before we go into all of that, Delight, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Just tell us about yourself.
Oh my god, I actually really hate this what do you do question. Okay, so Delight Chimdiuto. I am a wannabe YouTuber. I have a few videos, right? I have a few videos of my YouTube channel, but we'll circle back to this conversation as we go into the actual topic of today. Really, I'm just Delight Chimdiuto, daughter of the Most High. I remember the daughter of whom I am. Daughter of the Most High.
I love that. Guys, her YouTube channel is not just upcoming, it has a lot of
It doesn't have any lot though.
It has a lot. See, I'm telling you that this is one of the most intelligent people that I know. She's really great with skincare, and so you're great with a lot of things.
Thank you for reminding me. For a second, I've forgotten about. I think that's another one of the reasons why I feel stuck sometimes. I don't remember what I'm good at. I don't even remember what I'm good at, but As I am a skincare consultant.
Wow.
I mean, you have skin issues. I'm your go-to. I'm
not even joking. Delight is always popping, and I'm not. No, please allow me to praise it. She's always popping.
Someone asking me on Lagos. Please.
No, now you always have
my enemies.
You always have.
Someone asking me in Lagos. I thought that's the Delight that said.
We always have clear skin, and I want to be like her because my acne is getting spiraling, is getting out of control.
You will see, my mama just has literally one sip of acne on her face. That's what she's ginger.
I can promise you for a fact that this conversation is going to be fire, because I know that when I and Delight are having conversations, it's always very deep.
I swear, very deep. So
we just
very deep.
I start delving into several things, but today this is a self-development kind of podcast where we are going for self-development with God by our side. We are not just doing it by ourselves, because this self-development, to be very honest, we definitely need God, and we are still in that process. And anybody that told you that you have to be a certain age to achieve a certain thing had lied to you. I will be asking ourselves some questions that are regarding to the topic.
Asking questions and then answering them.
Yes, exactly. So what do you think are the underlying factors that make people feel stuck? Because I think about it sometimes, and I feel like I've contributed to the reason why I felt stuck many times in my life.
Why you were stuck?
Why, yes, exactly, why I was stuck. So what do you think are the underlying factors, that things that we don't even notice that are actually keeping us stagnant, we are not growing? So I'm throwing the question to you.
Yeah, okay, so big disclaimer, right? I know that most people like to have conversations like this when they feel like they are over,
they've made it in life.
Thank you. When they feel like, you know what, I can have this conversation maybe from a place of, oh my god, I've been there, done that. I always, for one, appreciate people who are talking about it in that time, because I don't 100% believe that whatever it is that you figure that should be the solution has to have already worked for you before you talk about it.
Yes,
I don't belong to that school of thought that, oh my god, wait, let's see finish working for you first before you now share with other people. So if it takes you 10 years, you're saying that people who are tied to you, obviously we all understand that people who are tied to you should wait 10 years.
Thank you for saying
Another
that.
thing is that, well, I know everybody's different, right? But for somebody like me, right, if I am not outwardly openly saying it out, there's a tendency that solution I will never use it, I never apply it, right? So it always makes sense for me. I mean, nobody has to like, do what I do, but like it always makes sense for me to like talk about it. So weird thing, when we first said this conversation, I'm like, I see the, like I am literally, because I am like in the, obviously in a place where I'm feeling stuck, like being here for like a bit right now, right? I was like, I don't know that this is a conversation that I'm even really equipped to have, but I'm just like, we just have this conversation like vulnerably, right?
Yeah.
Not from a place of exactly, not from a place of oh my god I figured it, but from a place of if you see and if you get the answer, tell me, me say my day, like if you have the answer, if you listen to this podcast, you feel like you have something you can say, please tell us. So for me as a person, I think that one, overthinking. So you know how when you said, what do I do? And that's a question that I struggle with. Like every time people ask me, I just feel like, what do I actually do? Like, so I think that largely, I don't know if to call it imposter syndrome, like, because I don't like to abuse that word, but for lack of better, was something in that line. First of all, most of us don't think that what we know how to do is really valuable, right? So it makes us, so like, I come from a family of achievers, for starters. When I found out I'm not going to be a doctor, I'm not going to be a lawyer, I'm not going to be an accountant, engineer, none of that. I'm just like, what am I really going to do? Like, what am I doing my life to do? So I didn't really, I mean, obviously compared to like people in my family, my mom is like an amazing businesswoman, my dad's an engineer, my siblings as well, like they're all doing what they're doing. So I didn't really feel like what I thought I knew was all that. So in my head, for the most part, I am busy trying to chase things that I think that I will value more than the things that I actually know how to do. I don't know if it's only me. I don't think I've really had somebody.
It actually makes a lot of sense.
I don't know if it's only me, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, obviously I'm answering this question from my own personal point of view. Like, I think a lot of people are busy trying to chase what they think makes sense and what they actually know how to do, right? Which is so funny because even as a child, I always wanted to spend the whole of my life doing things that I'm just happy to do them. Like things that, for instance, this thing with skincare. Like, it's so funny when people talk about it because I'm just like, these are things that if you wake me up in the night and ask me to do it for free, I'm just happy to do it. Maybe it makes me not really consider it like, oh my god, this is something I know. Maybe because it relatively comes easily to me. Just I just feel like it's not a thing. Like I feel like if it's not so far, if something I'm just really overthinking. If I didn't do 25 years, 30, I was having a conversation with you like how I was feeling about this skincare thing. Like if it's not how it might, because sometimes in my head I'm like, who am I really that this thing will come easily to me and then I'm using it to like I'm charging people for exactly. So so I think that sometimes we overthink things too. We don't think that things that we know are like of so much value that we should act on it. So we are busy pursuing things that we think that are value, and most of the time these things are not even really our strength. True. They're not things that we are strong at. So we're now spending time trying to learn. Do you understand? Trying to learn. Sometimes not even things that we even like. True. Do you understand? So most of everything that you like, you will struggle to learn. Do you understand how much more things that you actually do not like? So sometimes we're struggling to, learn the things that we do not like, the things that we cannot even really pay attention to. We're struggling over the things that we actually know how to do. I would also say like lack of discipline as well. As you know, like I think that at this point, like our friends, like so we have like a group of friends, I and Oma, that we call ladies. Like we're just like in a group chat. So at this point, I feel like we put in ladies group. They've dragged me like 600 times and say, "This is your YouTube." One of them. Exactly. Like when you were saying, I was going to come to your house, and then we were like, we'll do your podcast. I was like, yeah, we'll do your podcast. You had to ask me, what of your own YouTube? Like, what of your own YouTube? Are we not going to do it? Yeah, so it's also something, although some of that lack of discipline, some of it comes from a place of overthinking, right? Like again, I'm just like, what do I even really have that I want to say? But it also comes from a place of lack of discipline. Let's just like be honest about it, right? You want to procrastinate, so you know what I'll do tomorrow. I will. So yeah, I think those are some of the reasons why a person can actually be stuck. So what about you? What do you think?
To be honest, you took everything right out of my mouth, and to be honest, there are few things you said I would love to point out that actually really did speak to me, because I am the first child of my family, and there are a lot of expectations. Even if my parents don't even pressure me, they don't even have to say it out loud, but I just feel I can tell that there's some kind of pressure, there's some kind of competition. But I have siblings who are engineers. My younger brothers one is a computer guru, one is a mechanical engineer. My younger sister is a lawyer. She's about to go to law school.
Who's
and I'm here.
Jessica?
Yeah, my sister.
Oh, she's a lawyer.
Yeah, she's a lawyer. And me, on the other hand, I am literally trying to still figure out my life at this time. Currently doing something that I'm not even passionate about. I literally sleep at work because I just not like I sleep though, but like out of boredom compared to what I know I genuinely love. People know me for this thing, and I know I can be very, very active, very energetic and proactive. I'm finding myself stuck in a place where I don't feel like I'm moving. Like one thing I know is that I'm a huge force to reckon with. But if I'm in a place where I feel stifled, I'm in a box, I will not be able to show my true colors. Like it's so mind-boggling for me, because I'm allowing the society determine for me. I'm allowing the world determine for me what should be my fate, or what should be my purpose, or what should be my life, or how I should turn out. What are the expectations of me? So I think there was a time in 2020 rather, I think 2021, where I was very, very confused about my life, and I was asking God, what should I really do? I don't even know if it was God or myself, but there was the urge to pursue tech, and since then I've been in tech. But like considering from where you're coming from in the area of discipline, I think one number one thing I know I have, one issue I have, is discipline, lack of discipline. To be honest, people who have met me will say, boy, you're a workaholic. Like, if you want to get things done, you get it done. Yeah. But at the same time, you don't want to catch me when I feel very low about myself. As a matter of fact, it's something I struggle with every day. Something as simple as waking up early, something as simple as watching your diet, something as simple as knowing, be careful with what you eat, something as simple as, there are very, 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 very tiny things that I've come to realize that God, on the other hand, is trying to teach me. And until I learn that thing, it's like I won't move forward. Like, I'm just trying to explain some of the points that he said. That's what was on my mind. The lack of discipline, the overthinking. I remember I posted a video on Instagram talking about getting out of your head. Before, it took me years to actually make a YouTube video. My first YouTube video was in 2019 when the whole pandemic hit. And over time I kept it
2020, pandemic was 2020.
Yeah, 2019 ending. Okay, maybe yes, but the pandemic thing, I remember it more like in 2020. Okay. Yeah, 2020 is the right year. Yeah. And I was struggling to post things because I didn't think I had anything better to say. Yeah. But I'm like, who cares? Really? You don't know if it's through you, because there are thousands, millions of people in this world, and those people have their niche, people that they reach out to.
Of course.
And some of those people that they reach out to, all thanks to the internet and social media, you can see a lot of things that happen. But you cannot possibly follow all the people in the world on Instagram. So your niche now, for example, you as an individual, your followership, your friends, you don't know the gifts that God has blessed or bestowed upon you as an individual to actually use that particular gift to share with the world, or that particular conversation, that particular podcast, YouTube video, or show or movie that's going to change the life of another person. They could see you and say, if Delight could do this, I could do this. If Oma could do this, I could do this. Because who I am right now is through the inspiration of a lot of people. And I don't want to mention names. Some are celebrities and some are not. Some are people that you don't even know. Regular, basic, normal people. Yeah. So I'm just finding myself in that place where I cannot move because I am a lot. I'm in my head a lot. I've built a house in my head. I've married and I've had children in my head. I have like 5 dogs and a lion. I have several things going on in my head. So, but like, it's something, like you said, if you don't push yourself, who would push you? Right. You don't have to.
So even like you're saying, I remember I was speaking to somebody that was supposed to help me like do like a YouTube strategy kind of thing, right? And every time that we show, I'll just be like, oh my God, I'm just feeling some type of way. She just, and if I say I'm feeling some type of way, she just gives me like break, or like she gives me space, right? Oh, let's do this thing tomorrow. Let's have this go. I don't even know. Like at some point, she had to tell me, not even long ago, she had to tell me like, guy, do you want to do this thing or you don't? As you go do, you know, go do. Do you understand? Do you want to do this or not? Because you literally have to leave your head. Do you understand? Because every time when I send her voice note, like she can hear that I sort of like have plans. So it's not like I'm just, oh my God, I just want to do YouTube because right? She'll be like, boy, you're just in your head. Do you understand? Like it's not in your head that you're going to implement these things. You literally have to act on them, right? So, and I told that for the 750th time that you know what to. Give me like a few days to put my head together, but like I think I'm also realizing that I'm going to have to really work on that discipline thing particularly. Yes, I'm going to work on that thing particularly because I think if I handle that, or if I start to work actively on that, there are a lot of other, because even discipline will also tell me that and say it doesn't matter if you're feeling like you're a fraud about this issue. Do you understand? It doesn't matter. go and make a video. You can make skincare videos.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what you think, whether you think it doesn't matter. Do you understand? So yeah. So I think that's one of the things that I am now, and I'm trying to start from my little habits, right? Hopefully I can circle back to this video in a year and realize that I've made a lot of progress.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can circle back.
I'm actually looking forward to it.
Me too.
To be honest, last year is where we were last year is not where we are now.
Agreed.
And we've actually made
as much as we're saying stock, obviously, I guess
we've
a lot
moved,
of
yes.
a lot of progress happened.
And to be honest, God is a huge factor in this whole situation, because if you think you're going to do it by yourself, you're wrong. But you're not going to do it by your power, because I've learned to depend on Him to the point that I will tell Him that thing you need me to learn. Keep hammering it, even if I
run past and I will not learn it.
and not learn it. If I don't learn my lesson, let it happen again. It's a very terrible. It's not a terrible prayer. A friend of mine told me that it's a dangerous prayer.
That's the word.
It's a very dangerous prayer. Are you testing God? And the funny thing is that since I made that prayer, I was a teenager. I didn't even know what I was saying. I will still make that prayer to this very time. Even if I'm making mistakes with men, even if I'm making mistakes with friendships, or I'm making mistakes with frivolous things that are not as important. If I don't learn my lesson, please let that thing come again so I can learn the lesson. Let it sink.
Let's go teach you the lesson. Let's let you move on. So this thing, sorry, because my thing is I just made me remember when I was telling my friend, my pastor, my mentor, sort of that, you know what, I was I want to be burning for God. I want to catch fire. I want to wake up in the morning, smoke from heaven. And I told me, this is a dangerous prayer that I pray, because I hope you the responsibility that comes with having that level of fire. Do you understand? The things you're going to have to give up. Do you get the sacrifices you're going to have to make? I hope you are this is
you're ready for it.
Dangerous prayer. So because of what you said,
it reminds me of the word, set my heart on fire for you. On fire for you. When your heart is now on fire, people say, okay, madam, spirit, we heard you.
Exactly.
And to pain you.
Having to deal with that as well.
Because they didn't know you before that time. Before then, they knew you as a normal random person that didn't talk about God. All of a sudden, you're on fire for God. But for me, why I make that prayer is because I'm a very stubborn person. I'm so stubborn. As a matter of fact, if you leave me out and I don't agree with something with you, it's not I'll argue, but I'm so opinionated that I must say that thing. So far I believe it. There is nothing you can do to change it. And that's why I feel if it doesn't happen that way, I know how many times I had to read a particular book. Let me say business studies in secondary school. I had to read that book a million times before I understood everything. Because sometimes I read and I drift. So it also puts me back in this my life right now, when I'm trying to do something good in my life. I'm trying to make something out of my life. I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm trying to eat right. Before you know it, something will happen and I will
just drift.
And when you now drift, God will now be like, this girl, it's you don't want to move forward, and you're back again. You're now back to depression, feeling depressed. I'm getting fat, I'm not moving anywhere, and then something is telling you it's because you started something and now you have left it halfway.
You've
deviated. So my attention span is 0. So if I'm giving attention to this particular thing, I would like to keep up with it. The moment I start doing over and over again for as little as 1 month, 2 months. I remember when I started reading the Bible back to back, morning and evening, from October last year. I can't say for a fact that I have not stayed a day since that day till now. I had to put it upon myself that I want to know God. I want to discover God for myself. I just don't want to say, okay, I'm hearing God. I want to experience Him. And it is true reading His Word and having a community of friends who are radical for God as well. And so far, it's been a success journey. That feeling stuck, I don't feel so stuck anymore, because I'm now taking baby steps, like you said. I'm not taking baby steps I'm trying to stick to a particular routine. Waking up early is a chore, but I have a job now that is making me wake up as who would have thought? Who would have thought that I'll be waking up as early as 4 o'clock? How? So I just find myself, I just told myself that this position God has kept me in, let Him give me the opportunity or the sense and the wisdom to learn what I need to learn, and implement it in any future endeavor that I plan to venture in the future. So that's basically just it. But I have to ask one question. I think we've already answered that question. Have you ever felt stuck before, or do you still feel stuck?
Sometimes feeling we saying that we feel stuck, right, doesn't even mean that maybe our life is not going well or we're hungry or anything. It's just that sometimes there's a bigger move that you want to make with your life, right? So there's a bigger move you want to make with your life, and you're not able to get out of your head. Do you understand? To make the move? You can be, there are people who are earning XXX millions and they're still saying, they feel stuck. right? So face talk doesn't necessarily, it's not only tied to maybe people who are not doing anything or anything like that. Yeah, you know, like I mean, we're all like doing well in our own ways, right? But like face talk means sometimes like that there's a bigger move that you have to make. away from if you're earning 1 million, there's something you can be doing that can making you 3-4x that. Away from money. You might be making as much money, but you're not impacting lives. You're not making change, like the change that you're destined to make, right? Yeah. So, but then you don't know how to make that move. You don't know how to get out of your head to do that thing. So that's also, you know, based on. So yeah, in that, now that we've gotten that out of the way, yes, like, you know, like, I mean, every other time, like, right, like I'm feeling like, oh my god, this is bigger thing. Do you understand? Could be spiritually, actually. Could actually even be spiritually. You know, because we know every time people talk about being stuck, everybody just ties it to money, career. Could be spiritually. It could be that there's a level that there is obviously like a spiritual level that I'm supposed to be, that I know that I'm not there yet, right? And sometimes I feel like, oh my god, how to go, how to move, you know, how to take away every other distraction, how to move steady and not drift, like you said. Because sometimes I feel like I move, and then somehow I just drift off, right? So yeah, you know, stuck in that way as well. For instance, my YouTube channel as well. But no, don't worry. See,
it has to be the CND.
We're talking far. This month, no, of course. Like
I trust you,
I you know, yeah. So like, you know, I'm making plans with that as well. Finally, I feel like before my 29th, I want to do something that I am really scared of. I don't even care what it is. I want to do something that I'm really.
You never thought you would actually have the balls to do, right?
I mean, if you put it that way, make it sound very deep, but like just something that I know that I can do, something I know that I want to do, but maybe I've just been in my head about it. I've just been overthinking it. Do you understand? Hey, please, Jesus things. When you say things like that, it sounds very sinful and worldly. But yeah, like I want to do something. I want to like move myself out of a certain comfort zone, for instance. Yes, 29 is literally like next tomorrow. Okay, not literally next tomorrow.
No, it's literally like next tomorrow. Actually, it's literally tomorrow.
Yeah. Look, so you know, literally tomorrow.
You have to do act fast. For me, yeah, I just think that I have this fear of missing out in action, fear of missing out. Yes, you know, I'm a FOMO, like that's what they call it, and I just feel like I'm getting older and I'm not still doing that thing that I've always wanted to do. What happened to TV presenting, Oma? What happened to your radio? What happened to making movies? What happened to being part of a movie crew? I've fulfilled that, but I want to do more. You know, like sometimes we set, it's not like they're unrealistic goals, but you set goals and then we don't follow up, we don't keep up with it. I can remember the goals that I wrote when I was 21 to this very age, and it's not as if I opened that book and ask myself, okay, have I achieved this? And I've ticked it out. Okay, I've done this. We just go with the flow. I think that's one of the things that happened with me or my life, that I got to realize that I was actually messing up. You are making plans and goals for yourself. Yes, good and fine. God is part of it. You've prayed about it and everything. Now, are you following through those goals? Like when people say, oh, before I don't used to believe in it. I mean, I used to write, but like following it through, I feel like it's stuck in your head. But that's not true. It's not exactly as stuck in your head as you think it is. Great. Because if you have like a particular purpose or something or particular goal in mind that you want to achieve so bad that's going to make you attain a certain height, you have to remind yourself every day. It might even bring me back to when I used to watch high school movies as a teenager. I can remember Rachel in Glee. I can remember the beginning of the movie. She was very determined to be a straight A student or be the class valedictorian in her school, and she had like this board in her room with stickers and everything. Those were goals. They were looking at her. She's waking up every morning and she's looking at it, that this is what I want to do. But of course, God has other bigger, better plans for you, and sometimes it might even be so confusing. But at the same time, if God has placed that particular goal in your heart as a person, why are you not thinking of being a doctor? Why are you not thinking of traveling the world, being a tourist or something? But on your own, you just start thinking that, okay, I want to do my YouTube videos, or I want to be a TV presenter. Why is that? It's not okay. Sometimes it's caused by what we see. Of course, we are. Oh, I admire this person. I like how she does things and stuff. But I just feel like these things, they come and go. I remember when I wanted to be a makeup artist and it had come and gone. I remember guy, you don't want to know what I've done in my life. You don't want to know what I've done in my life. And those things have brought me to a particular point where I know that this thing has stuck for this long. Being a presenter, talking, I love to have conversations. So why is that hard? Why is that still there? In fact, those conversations are things that stimulate my mind, and I go back home smiling. You don't have to give me anything. I just go back home and I'm smiling. Why is it that something as small as having conversations, like ignites my mood, makes me happy, like it could be anything and everything. So if I have an extensive knowledge about that thing.
So sorry to cut you. I just want to say this because I'm about to forget.
Yeah, please don't forget.
So this thing, oh my god, I feel like I'm already forgetting. Okay, so this thing that you were saying about things coming and going, I feel like for me, a few things in my life. In fact, there's time, I think before we met you, and then I used to always make a joke that very one day I'll say I want to be a pilot. Because I try to be like a man I want this. But there are like a few things in my life that stay. So for instance, I've been a talker since I was a child. Like I've just been that girl, do you understand? I was always maybe during calisthenics, I don't even know if I ever know how to pronounce it. Like the whole choreography thing. Like, do you understand? I was always going to be in front. If they wanted to do like a talk show during like Children's Day or Teenagers Day, I was like, if I'm not there, who's going to be there, right? So I've always had, like, that's always been a thing for me, right? And a lot of other things have come and gone. In fact, me that doesn't like, there's a point that I really liked cooking. Oh my god, I had like a cookbook. I liked all these Igbo people's recipes. I used to write. I can't forget, my brother gave me this like his diary from his work, and I had like a lot of recipes on that thing. Of course, that is over now. But like a few things have actually just really like stayed with me, aka doing this whole. Funny enough, some years ago, this guy I used to date, right? He had even told me, oh my god, like I was in. I schooled in the East, right? I think that Lagos sees civilization first before every other person does. Yeah. Right? So I didn't even know YouTube was a thing. I didn't know that anybody was being paid for YouTube, right? But he used to tell me then, but I think he used to live in Lagos. Right? So like he obviously was tasting civilization and coming to the East, right? To school. So he used to tell me that, and I liked, me, I'm like a gadget person. I like phones. I like still do like phones, right? So like every time my friends used to want to buy a phone, they have to ask me, do you understand, to recommend phones for them.
Phone guru,
So like he'd always tell me that, that he thinks I should do this YouTube thing for phones. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, what's that? Like, I didn't understand YouTube as how. Like, I knew that maybe there was something called YouTube. I don't think I actively ever really watched. Do you understand? Okay. I didn't even actively watch YouTube, to be honest. Like, I think as far back as 2015 of here. Do you know? I actively ever really 2015, 2016. I don't think I actively watched it or really understood that there were people that used to get paid. But I started telling him that you already cook sabi talk. Do you understand? And then you like this, so you can as well just talk about
people are making a lot of money.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. But now I see like a lot of phone videos on YouTube and like just how much they make, and I'm just like, maybe if I copped this at the time, who would have known? But yeah, like a few things have actually, like, that's what brought me to this conversation. A few things have actually come and go. But I think talking and then just having heart to heart, having vulnerable conversations. I'm not interested in the fine aesthetics thing, like just having very vulnerable conversations, because behind the whole cute aesthetics, I'm not like anything's wrong with that. Like there's a person actually. Yes, so in fact, like all those people who feel like, oh my god, so which is why I like what there's Ellen DeGeneres. I like what she does. Like she brings celebrities and everybody just talks, talks vulnerably. Yeah. Chude as well. Chude.
Yes.
Chude does that. In fact, Chude even does that even more. Jonathan, like you hear things that
everything.
These your popular people, these people that you idolize so much, like things that they actually like, they're human beings like you. Yeah. Yes. Like they're human beings like you, and then you just know that more. Like everybody's just going through one thing or the other. So like that's always been the aspect of talking, that I actually really liked to do, and I think that one has not grown old. Every other thing, love for every other thing has come and gone. Yeah. Love for just this few things that just really stay. So I think the things that stay with you eventually, when everything comes, like when
push comes to shove.
Thank you. When push comes to shove, rather,
that thing,
that one thing that probably, So I think that's not something that we should actually ignore.
Even when circumstances through or life happens, you still find yourself in that particular place where you feel like if you do this, you'll be happier, or this will give you more fulfillment in life. Well, I don't know what to say, because I can't say for a fact that I have a figure out, like you said in the beginning. I remember a time that I spoke to a younger person, and I'm a few years older than her. And she felt like, when she found out I was a certain age, she was like, what have you been doing how have you been doing all your life, you know? Because we're learning the same thing together, so I probably assume that we're the same age or something. And everybody knows I'm a very cheerful, bubbly kind of person, so you never really guess or think or pinpoint, because I'm in a world of my own, and that world of my own is usually very, very lively and exciting to be around. So you never really, because the idea of mature people, older people, is that they should be a certain way, they are proper and all that stuff. But it's good that the narrative is changing, but like at the same time, she she figures and she's like, what have you been doing all your life? And it hits me, you know, it hurts me a lot because I felt like, why would somebody say that to me, you know, because you think you have it all figured out. I remember a friend telling me that even people that are way older than you are even still trying to figure, even your parents are still trying to figure it out, you know. Some people, even your parents, start to figure out, okay, this passion actually, and the one funny thing I've come to understand and realize is that sometimes these passions, they change. The passion that you think you have is usually for a period of time, and I'm actually grateful to God I experienced. I'm not trying to say that you should go and try plenty things before you know what you're actually good at, but this period of time have actually made me understand that, okay, this is where my strength is and this is where my strength isn't. And at the same time, I'm happy that I've explored those things because I can know where I can channel my energy.
Also, but you know that like passion at different times is not particularly abnormal. Do you understand? There are different seasons in your life. Do you understand?
God bless you.
So sometimes I'm not saying it's all the time, but I feel like sometimes your passion at this time is what you're supposed to be doing now. Or not, but like even if you want to, like it's not particularly abnormal that different phases of your life, do you understand, will have you focused on different things, right? But it's always towards a bigger
picture.
Purpose,
right.
Bigger picture, bigger purpose, yes.
So what do you say to those people? Now it's advice time. And please keep your antennas up and open.
Please, maybe you should advise me as well.
Oh yes, please. We will throw questions at you guys as well to also advise us.
There's a comment section in this
yes,
podcast.
Yes, of course, yeah. They can actually ask us questions and we can ask them questions as well. And we'll answer your questions in the next podcast. If you want to hear this lovely voice again, please subscribe, follow, share, all that stuff. So like basically, what would you say to all those people who are trying to thrive in an environment that they know they do not like or enjoy, but they just have to do it for the sake of, okay, I need to make money, okay, I need to do this so that I can survive, you know.
There's nothing wrong with I mean, half the times almost all of us are working for, I think only really, I don't know the statistics, I've not conducted like a research, right? But like I think they're not like a lot, there are more people who are working for money than people who are actually working for like passion. So but I think that the most important thing that you should learn what you need to learn at that from
particular point in time.
So me, I've like, for instance, like I've actually worked like in different industries, right? And it may not necessarily have been a passion per se, and the things that I've learned from there are like things that I would take on to even the things that I feel like, oh my god, I'm passionate about, right? Like you know, learn the things you need to learn, right? Pick the things that you need to pick from where you are right now. Whether I don't think everybody in their lifetime is actually going to be able to do what they are passionate about, right? So find joy in what you're doing right now. Learn things that time. Exactly. Learn things. If possible, plan for the thing that you're passionate about, right? Like actively plan for the things that you're passionate about. I remember one time I was telling somebody that, you know what, like I just realized that every birthday I never have money. Like something always happens on my birthday, I never have money. And he told me something, have you been saving? Like,
towards it,
have you saved towards that? Then on your birthday the money disappeared. Do you understand? Because it was not like, why you sounding as if you save money on your birthday, something will happen, the money will lose. I said no. He said, so like, where do you want the money to magically come from? Do you get it? So I was like, okay, so if you want to have money on your birthday, save towards it. And that particular, even I'm not like, I didn't grow up in a house of birthdays, right? My father thinks that, not my father thinks actually happened in the Bible, in quotes, the only birthday that he knows about was where they beheaded John the Baptist. So he doesn't care for birthdays. I think myself.
He's following the biblical way. Such a stern man.
Exactly. So we never really do birthdays in my house. So I think that's the thing that has just subconsciously stayed with me, right? But yeah, for the first time that year, I don't know, that was like 3 years ago. For the first time that year, I actually like tried to save, you know, towards, and at least, I mean, I wasn't earning so much at the time, but at least I could get myself a cake.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Something like that. I could get myself a cake, could get like a drink or two. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, you can actually now plan. So the reason why I brought this story was like you can actually now plan for the passion that you have, right? Yeah, if it's saving money, if it's in the course of like while you're doing what you're doing right now, maybe learning about the thing that you're passionate about, so that you can create a table for yourself sometimes. True. If you're not invited to, you can create a table for yourself. Yeah. So that's my own 1 or 2 seed of advices.
Actually, she's very, very right. Me on the other hand, I feel like there's beauty in. I believe that I'm a very purpose-driven person, and I believe that you need your purpose. You need to know what you are called on this earth to do. and sometimes God blesses us with several things. The society has made it believe that, okay, yes, you're passionate about something and you need money to fuel your passion. And if you don't have that money at the moment to fuel that passion, what do? Is to look for other things that are probably very, very tasking, annoying, some things that you probably do not like, just so you can make the money. Reminds me of a time I was working at a job with an international company. Anybody that hears this will be like, are you mad? You left an international company just because you wanted to pursue your passion. I know it sounds bizarre. It sounds very, very stupid, but like I've seen in several situations where people are not fulfilled. So I feel like when you get to that point, I think you just up and leave, and then that thing that God has placed in your heart. But people will say that it's a very, very Gen Z-like thing to do. That's why there are a lot of unhappy people in the society right now, because all their lives, they will say, oh, I'll leave tomorrow, I'll leave the next day, I'll leave next year, I'll leave next month, I'll leave, but they don't leave because they're afraid of taking a particular step. So my own particular advice would be, don't be afraid. As much as it makes a lot of sense for you to plan, good and fine. If you've been planning for years, you've always wanted to be an influencer, and influencers, they live bougie lifestyles, and you want to buy an iPhone 13 to help take pictures or videos that are clear and crisp, and you have to save for it, and your job is currently going to give you that. Why not just stay for that particular time? Give yourself a time that this is how long I'm going to be here for. Commit it to God's hands and let it just flow, and then at the end of the day, you can venture into something else. Okay, so now for example, I like to use myself for example, and I feel like this information is very private to me, but because this is a place where I just don't ramble about things. I share my experience. I think I shared with you guys that, okay, my passion has always, I've been scared of chasing an acting career because of how the world perceives actresses. Especially as a woman, if you're beautiful, you have curves and everything, it's assumed that you're loose and you don't have anything up your head. But I got to the realization that I've actually been putting myself down in such a way that, okay, I've always wanted to explore this part of myself. Why haven't I done that up to this time? Because I'm afraid of what people will think about me. So one, don't be afraid of changing, don't be afraid to embrace change as it is at that time. And secondly, don't allow things get to your head so much that you feel like you cannot do it because the society have made you feel that way. Society is society. They will talk from now to tomorrow. If you die, society will still remain. When the generation will come and go, you have gone and you're gone for good. Why do you want to stifle your growth with what people hear, what people will say, how people will feel? I'm tired of it. I saw this post somewhere. I was looking for it just like a few minutes ago. How dare you give another person the permission to make you unhappy in your own life? Like your own life, where you're your own personal driver. Like, how can I understand where people come from when they are scared of what people say? But okay, now all your life that you've been thinking about what people will say. Oh yeah, how far have you gone? So that has been my story. And even when I got this job, my mom was like, she felt like our parents of that generation, of that time, if you don't have a proper job that's taking you out of the house and bring you back home, it's not an authentic job. I'm actually at the point where I'm very, very tired, and I feel like if you're in that situation, you should feel very tired too. Don't be afraid to chase what you want to chase. Don't overthink it. Don't fail to plan, or you're planning to fail, like this is stay in university. I remember my 100 level, they said they used to ring that in our head. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I feel like plan is a very, very huge important thing. And another factor is God, because you cannot say in this your life that you want to pursue something as sensitive as your purpose in life. This is you leaving your own footprints in the sand of time, and you want to mess it up by doing nothing. By doing nothing or doing nonsense. Sit back, ask yourself several questions. What is the essence of my life? The essence of my life is, of course, to glorify God. I mean, that's if you're a Christian. But at the same time, what's that higher power that is holding you? What's that higher source, that higher intelligence? Seek it, look for it, make sure that it is guiding you to go to the place that it needs you to go. Not you are, because there are times where I think there was a time I wanted to do music.
Oh my Jesus.
I'm not joking. I'm serious. People, Adeleke University students know that I was a performer in school. All the audition auditions, I be the talent shows in school. My dear, I used to be part of them. I would carry my backup dancers and sing Oma Omi, Chidima, KDK. I did, even Yemi Alade, I performed all of those songs on stage just because I wanted to win 50k cash. But at the time it was big money. I was a teenager. But like those are the things that I felt like I would probably be a performer, you know, be like all these people. But at the end of the day, I felt like I drifted because I didn't think God needed me there. No, I didn't think. I just knew that if I was going to make an impact, it's not that way. Music is my life. Even at this moment, there's no music that I don't know. I mean, I love music that's good. But like that particular place, God didn't take me there. And I feel like even when I had opportunities and I brought it to God, okay, from the three of them, let one of them click. And sometimes all of them will click. I'm like, God, this is confusing. Where do you want me to go? And then you just start feeling like it's very hard to hear from God. I don't want to get to all that detail or information, but it's just you just need that higher power to actually
and a discerning spirit as well.
Yes, to actually help you in that area. If
another thing I believe is that some of the things that we like are not necessarily things that we should do.
God bless you.
So there's also a place of being content, right? There's not being content with not pursuing that thing if you know God asks you, like, you know, that, or if you don't feel like, the way I will pursue this thing is not going to give glory to God. I believe that there's a place of content and saying, you know what, it's not going to give glory to God, so I will not pursue it. I think who was saying that thing, contentment over satisfaction.
You said that to me last night.
I thought I heard it from somewhere, I can't remember where I heard, but like, you know, contentment over satisfaction. And that's also something I'm even trying to learn. Like, maybe I like a lot of things, but I cannot pursue all of them at the same time. At least maybe at different times in my life they will all, do you understand, they will find expression in different times. Do you understand? But even like career coaches and motivational speakers, so you really literally cannot pursue everything. You cannot pursue everything that you end up liking. You cannot even pursue everything you know how to do.
True. That's actually a good one. I used to feel like my sister, do what you want to do, my brother, do what you want to do, but at the same time, does it actually glorify God?
Exactly.
Because if I'm being honest with myself, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. Is it going to glorify God? Is it going to make God? Because I think God knows who I am. He knows me. He knows that, okay, if you go here, you will lose your way. So I want you to stay here and learn certain things. And maybe I'm preparing something even bigger than that thing. Just stay put. Just trust me. Just rest in me. Just understand just trust me enough that I'm going to take you to the place I need to take you. So I'm learning to trust him. And even if I want to do this thing so bad, I want it to be in the glory of God, not because of, okay, oh my God, I want to do this thing, I feel like my life is ending, or this one and that one.
Exactly.
And I'm always reminded that, guy, you have a lot of years ahead of you. What is the rush? Literally, as much as we say it's short, what is now the rush?
It's short, but it's longer too.
But it's short, it's long, but at the same time, I'm just in a hurry to make that impact, because you see people who are younger than you and they're doing so great, and you're like, what am I even doing? My life is so zigzag. Mine, for a fact, if I tell you what I've done since I left school to this very time, since I was 21, like, it's to me, I'm like, God, where are you taking me to, really? Because it's beginning to feel confusing. And there was one time I went to church, and Pastor P-Maz, we call her P-Maz, Pastor Mazino, she runs a podcast. Currently is You Can Rest Here. She does one of the best podcasts. I really love listening to her. You Can Rest Here. It's a very good one. And she said something about having to trust that God can take you through the storm. We hear these things every day, but do you really trust him? Are you really putting your trust in him? Basically, I just feel like you should chase what you need to chase, but at the same time, let it align. Infuse God in all your plans. If you're stuck, I'm sure he'll unstuck you, remove you out of that dead pit or that dead hole, and I'm sure you get it right. I feel right now, I feel stuck sometimes, but not every time, because for a reason, not because of my own reasoning, but because of that's what God wants, and I'm learning to trust him. It's actually great having you here and having all these conversations with you because we always have really fire conversations. As a matter of fact, this is just the tip of an iceberg of the kind of conversations we have.
That time I came to your house when you're living in that place, where we'll talk like when you're done, we'll talk till like 1, 2.
It's crazy because you're just dissecting everything.
I'm telling you,
and it's really, really fun, and I really hope that we probably record another.
I'm sure. Maybe the next time you come to my YouTube.
This is me signing out. Thank you for listening to our unwavering thoughts. Do have a wonderful evening, and bye.